Welcome to a perfectly ordinary life. I'm walking through this beautiful forest, and I can't help but think about purpose and the lack thereof that I feel. It's actually kind of incredible. I believe this is said by Alan Watts, though it's probably been said many, many times. The purpose of life is to live. And now that really, it gets me, because once I truly started to experience it, which is different than knowing it, right? I can hear that and be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But to actually experience life this way is it's such a unique way to actually go about your life. I used to spend nearly my entire life building this character of Ben and, trying to find my purpose. Oh, what do I enjoy? What can I do for a living? Done. I'm just alive. And that is enough. And yeah, I still do things. I mean, I'm doing something right now, but I'm doing this not for a sense of purpose or like, oh, I'm Ben and this is a thing that I do because it's important. I'm just having fun. And I try to apply this to almost every aspect of my life, this sense of purposelessness. And it makes everything I do so much more enjoyable because I'm not doing them for a narrative or because I feel like I have to or that it's my purpose. I do things because I want to do them. And of course, there are things that I do that I don't want to do. I gotta eat food, I gotta drink water, I gotta go for walks, I gotta do work. I don't do these things for a sense of purpose. I don't feel purpose in my work, I just do it. And I still experience like a calling to do things in the sense that, I'm just attracted to certain things. Like I enjoy making videos, I enjoy making music, I enjoy animating, these types of things. But it's not my purpose, right? It's not like I have this identity woven into it. These are just things that I enjoy doing. If for whatever reason, I lost these things or I lost the ability to do these things, it would suck because I enjoy doing them, but I wouldn't feel like, oh, what do I do now? My purpose is gone. It's like, my purpose is to walk in this forest and breathe the air and eat potatoes. I love potatoes. And for a long time, I actually felt pretty lost because I couldn't find anything that I enjoyed because I was caught up in the narrative like, oh, I've got to do this for the rest of my life. This is my purpose. I need to do this thing. And, once I let that go and I let myself be purposeless, everything became so much more enjoyable. Like going for a walk, it is honestly maybe the best feeling in the world. And when I make things now, they don't come from a place of, I'm Ben, I need to make stuff because that is what my purpose is. It is, I make stuff because I want to make stuff. It seems so absurdly simple, and yet it took me years to finally experience this. I mean, I heard that quote, the purpose of life is to live. I probably heard that when I was 14, and yet I didn't start experiencing the world this way until maybe I was like 19. And now I'm 20, and I've lived like almost a full year with this mindset, and I've just noticed this accelerating path of enjoyment of life. I mean, there's intense emotions. I cry and I'm sad and I feel all these things. Of course I do. But the actual, like, my baseline, just me sitting here, that's really what it is. It's like me sitting here. I am so unbelievably content 99% of the time. It's incredible. I love it. And that time that I do experience that 1%, it's not that I'm experiencing emotion. I can be content and at a baseline and still experience intense emotion. Like even if I am just absolutely overwhelmed with sadness, I still consider myself to be incredibly content because I enjoy the experience of being sad because I just go with experience. I'm just seeing what happens. And it's not a disassociation where I'm in this complete observer state. I am both in the ego and in awareness simultaneously, being able to experience things and witness them. And I don't think that I would have been able to get there without this, without giving up purpose, without being completely content with not chasing purpose. I could do nothing and die and just like continue going for walks, live out in the woods, eat berries, drink water. I mean, that's obviously a fantasy of sorts, but you know, in this situation, I could die having done nothing, and I would be just as happy, if not more happy, than building, you know, a whole egocentric, um, like, I don't know what you would call it, like just legacy, I guess. And I don't want to say that purpose doesn't exist. Purpose is a very real thing. You know, you can experience purposeness, like, oh, I feel very purposeful right now. And we obviously assign societal functions to things and we label things with purpose. An example would be like, a bird's purpose is to control the bug population. And I would argue that, you know, the bird's purpose is just to be a bird and exist. And we see the behavior of the bird and we go, oh, its purpose is to control the bug population. But, you know, that's just its function. It just eats bugs. Just like, you know, a farmer farms. Farming isn't the purpose. Being a human is the purpose. And farming is just the societal function. And I guess in a way you could argue, like me making this video, right? My purpose is to be a human. And this is just the function I'm doing right now. I'm just making a video. And I think really what I'm trying to say is there's nothing you have to do. Like, you can just live and die, and that's totally acceptable. It doesn't, you know, make you any better than someone who solved world hunger. Now, on a societal level, we would be like, oh, come on, the guy who solved world hunger, he's obviously more important. As a society, obviously, the guy who solved world hunger has more societal value, but this is kind of an abstract thing. It's not an inherent thing, which is kind of what I'm talking about. And, you know, I look back at all of the, I don't want to say necessarily illusions, but all of the patterns in me. And I think the hardest one to recognize and kind of, you know, take a step back from was purpose. I think it was honestly one of the hardest things for me to accept, is that there is no purpose. I'm not going to fall into something and be like, oh, I found my purpose. My whole life is better. It's like, no, I've already been living the purpose. The purpose is just to experience reality. And again, I understood this information so long ago, like the last 6 years I've understood this information. But to actually experience it, accept it, and live my life in this way, it's only been a year. And again, it has been an incredible year. It's been the most emotionally intense year where I have felt the deepest feelings I've ever felt. And yet, I am more content than I ever have been. Like, even on days where I feel absolutely devastated, I wouldn't consider them bad days. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed that day, just experiencing whatever, you know, I was to experience. And if I look back at when I was a teenager, you know, going through life in a very ego-centric way, which is not to say that I live without an ego. I very deeply live with an ego. But again, if I look at when I was fully embraced in the ego, almost every day was bad. I hated my life. Anyways, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Experience what you gotta experience, and hopefully you have some fun. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.